Today was the second day for people of Gaza, the victims of Israel's 2 years of non-stop genocide with the help of the Western countries, to be spending their lives in relative peace as everyone now look forward to the release of Israeli captives in exchange for Palestinian hostages held in Israeli concentration camps. Donald Trump is set to visit the illegal settler colony tomorrow, even though his daughter Ivanka and Zionist son-in-law Jared Kushner have already been in the region. Kushner, who famously talked about his desire to ethnically cleanse Gaza to realize his real estate dreams, also visited Gaza today under the protection of Israeli terrorists. He was accompanied by Trump's Jewish envoy for everything, Steve Witkoff, and the CENTCOM chief of the General Staff, Eyal Zamir. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand their real motive. Using Gaza to further his real estate empire has always been a long dream of Trump and his family. But all was not well for Witkoff today. After returning from Gaza, Witkoff addressed the family members of Israelis who are currently in Palestinian captivity. This dodgy Jewish envoy of Trump began his speech by whitewashing bloodthirsty terrorist Benjamin Netanyahu's war crimes as he sought to praise him for apparently securing the peace deal. Yes, he was trying to tell the Israeli crowd that Netanyahu wasn't responsible for prolonging the genocide and therefore compromising the safety of Israeli captives in Gaza. But watch what happened. He was met with repeated boos, and this shameless man still didn't give up. And you thought he had the best interest of Palestinians in mind while supposedly negotiating a ceasefire in Gaza?
To Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, oh, okay. To Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, okay. Let me just finish my thought. I was in the trenches, guys. Let me just finish my thought. I was in the trenches with the Prime Minister. Believe me, he was a very important part here. The Prime Minister and his staff, Ron Dermer included, have both sacrificed so much for this country and devoted their lives to the service of Israel. Their dedication to the history and destiny of this nation stands out tonight. They've given everything, their time, their energy, and their hearts, to building a safer, stronger future for the Jewish people. Their commitment to this country has never wavered, and it never will.
I have repeatedly warned from this platform that it is a mistake to trust these snakes, but I would be happy to be proven wrong for the sake of my Palestinian brothers and sisters. Many felt that growing international isolation was one of the reasons why war criminal wanted by the International Criminal Court agreed to the ceasefire. There was a near consensus among the members of the European footballing body UEFA to kick the Israeli team out of pan-European competitions just days before Trump announced the peace deal. This would have also paved the way for Israel's exclusion from the next year's World Cup. But it seems that this threat is still not over for Israeli terrorists. That's because the campaign group Game Over Israel is once again calling on UEFA to suspend Israel until it ends its abuses against Palestinians. The fresh call has come just hours before Israel's World Cup qualifying matches. Game Over Israel has been using billboards in major cities across the world to drive home that message. The latest billboard was revealed in Milan and addressed to UEFA President Alexander Keferin. The campaign group said, and I quote, "Israel is committing genocide. Suspend Israel now. It's your moral obligation." End quote. John Dugard, former UN Special Rapporteur on Palestine, said it remains legally necessary and urgent for UEFA to ban the Israeli Football Association. Meanwhile, hundreds of thousands of protesters once again took to the streets in London this weekend in solidarity with the victims of Israeli genocide in Gaza. Speaking to the crowd, British MP Jeremy Corbyn credited these brave protesters with forcing the Israeli terrorists to agree for a peace deal.
The increasing political isolation of Israel and the USA in world opinion hasn't happened by accident. It's the hundreds of thousands of us here today on the streets of London. It's those that marched in Paris, Berlin, New York, Washington, Cape Town, Buenos Aires, Melbourne, Sydney, every city all around the world. It's this global movement. It's this global movement that has made an enormous difference. And when we've had our Gaza tribunal, we exposed the role of the Israeli army and of the British army in supplying weapons to Israel and the use of Royal Air Force bases in supplying weapons. And so there's a reckoning to come. It's not just the ICC and the ICJ, it's a reckoning for all those politicians that propped up the Israeli war machine, that provided the political cover and the support for them. And so those that have acted in solidarity can hold their heads up high. Those that went on the flotilla, bless you all and hold your heads up high for all that you did. And for the solution to be permanent, for there to be permanent peace, you won't get it with a colonial-style meeting around a table in the White House or anywhere else. And you certainly won't get it from Viceroy Tony Blair stepping ashore in Gaza to take over the governorship of Gaza. The only people that should govern Gaza, the only people that should govern the West Bank are the Palestinian people. And we will be here as often and as long as it takes until the war is over and every Palestinian child can go to school, get fed, get medicine when they need it, and lead the life that we want every child everywhere in the world to lead. The war will only be over when that has been achieved. Thank you for all your solidarity. Thank you for all your work. And we will carry on as long as it takes. Thank you.
Before I leave, I would like to briefly talk about this year's Nobel Peace Prize winner. The choice of Maria Corina Machado, the opposition leader from Venezuela, is disgraceful to say the least. The Nobel Prize Committee has further disgraced itself by choosing a bigot, an Islamophobe, a racist and Zionist warmonger for this coveted prize. It has further confirmed the suspicion that one has to be a supporter of genocide and proponent of ethnic cleansing to win this prize. This horrible woman supported terrorist Netanyahu and his genocide in Gaza. She also wrote to him asking him to wage a war against her own people in Venezuela. And immediately after winning the prize, she dedicated this to Donald Trump, who is desperately trying to bomb Venezuela. That's how disgusting she is. Trump even boasted about this yesterday.
The person who actually got the Nobel Prize called me and said, I'm accepting this in honor of you because you really deserved it. That a very nice thing to do. I didn't say then give it to me though. I think she might have. She was very nice, and I've been helping her along the way. They need a lot of help in Venezuela. It's a basic disaster. So, and you could also say it was given out for 24, and I was running for office in 24. All of the transactions that we did in terms of closing, but there are those that say we did so much that they should have done it, but I'm happy because I saved millions of lives.
You only have to look at the past winners of the Nobel Peace Prize. I can never forget the role played by Aung San Suu Kyi in facilitating the genocide of Rohingyas in Myanmar, and she was also the winner of Nobel Peace Prize. I used to be a supporter of Aung San Suu Kyi until she revealed her real colors and sided with the military junta to commit the ethnic cleansing of Rohingyas. So when she was arrested for the second time by the same junta, I had zero sympathy, like millions of people around the world, because she deserves every bit of humiliation. In fact, Nobel Committee was urged by people from around the world to withdraw the award. They refused to do so. Even though the Oxford University withdrew its honours, Canadian MPs voted unanimously to revoke her honorary citizenship. But Nobel Peace Prize refused to move. I'm not even talking about Henry Kissinger and Barack Obama and their blood-stained legacy. So if the Nobel Committee announces Trump and Netanyahu as the joint winner of next year's Nobel Prize, no one should be surprised. That's it from me. Thank you very much for your support of our journalism and this platform on buymeacoffee.com and Patreon. If you do think that our journalism is worth supporting, then you too should consider becoming part of it. Details are there in the description of this video. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, because that's one of the many ways you can support independent journalism. God bless you all.